The morning unfolded like any other, calm and bright. Yet subtle unease tugged at the edges of my mind, a flicker of doubt I brushed aside as nerves. It was a big day after all. My wife's sister was getting married. The venue was a countryside estate nestled among wildflowers and old trees, where the air smelled of roses and fresh soil. Sunlight streamed through the branches, dappling the lawns with gold. Guests moved like poetry to the gardens, dressed in flowing silks and tailored suits, laughter rising and falling like a soft chorus. In the distance, Anna, my wife, looked breathtaking. She wore a deep crimson dress that clung to her just right, her hair cascading in soft, deliberate waves. She smiled often, posed for pictures, leaned into me like she always had. I did my part too, smiled on cue, raised glasses and toast, played the devoted husband. But beneath the charm, something inside me whispered a warning. A quiet restlessness stirred in my chest, and no matter how I tried to bury it in celebration, it clung to me like a second skin. The ceremony was flawless. Her sister walked down the aisle with grace, every step heavy with joy. Their vows, soft and trembling, pulled emotion from every corner of the garden. People wept. I clapped. I cheered. And I waited for the unease to fade. It didn't. At the reception, a grand ballroom wrapped in warm candlelight and jazz, everything shimmered with elegance. Tall lilies bent gently over centerpieces. Crystal glasses clinked, and couples swayed on the dance floor. Laughter echoed in every direction. But I felt miles away, standing in the middle of a celebration I couldn't connect with. Anna had begun to drift. It started subtly, checking her phone more often, stepping out for air too frequently, her thumbs moving across the screen like they had somewhere more important to be. I told myself it was just the stress of the day, the pressure of family events, but that restless voice in my chest was growing louder, sharper. Then I saw it. In a quiet corner by the bar, she stood with a man I didn't recognize. Tall, confident, too casual. The way he looked at her made my stomach turn. They were too close, their bodies leaning in with a familiarity that didn't belong. Her hand brushed his sleeve. They laughed together, soft, effortless. It was a kind of laugh I hadn't heard from her in years. Light, free, unburdened. And suddenly, I knew that laugh wasn't mine anymore. The pieces fell together like glass shattering. The late-night phone calls she took in another room, the vague reason she canceled plans, the way her gaze slipped past me even when I held her hand. I wanted to march over, to demand answers, to claw truth from her lips, but my legs refused. I just watched. Then he leaned in, and she didn't pull away. Their kiss was brief, but it was enough. Enough to shatter everything. I left without a word. Outside, the night air was sharp and cold, biting into my skin like it was trying to wake me from a dream. The garden, once vibrant, now felt hollow and distant. I called my closest friend. Not even to speak, just to hear a voice that still made sense. On the drive home, the imagery played like a cruel film loop. Her smiling, his hand on her waist, the kiss. When I got home, I didn't wait. I packed a small bag, just essentials. A few clothes, toiletries, a couple of keepsakes that still meant something. Then I sent her a message, for words. It's over. No accusations, no fury, just the truth. Quiet. Final. She called, texted. I ignored it all. Days passed. Then one evening she showed up at my door, eyes red, flowers trembling in her hands. She was shaking. She begged for forgiveness, voice cracking on every word. She said it was a mistake, that she was confused, that she loved only me. I listened. I let her speak every word, even as each one landed like a fresh cut. When she finished, I looked her in the eyes and spoke quietly. You didn't just betray me. You betrayed everyone who believed in us. Your family, your sister. I can't forget that. I won't. She wept, reached for me, but I didn't move. Some betrayals run too deep. Love, no matter how deep, cannot survive where trust is dead. She made her choice. Now she had to live with it. Time moved forward. I poured myself into healing. My friend became my anchor. I returned to the parts of myself I had long neglected, hiking through silent trails, reading the books I once loved, losing myself in the quiet places where I could finally hear my own heart again. Slowly, I rebuilt a rhythm, not of survival, but of living. One day, months later, Anna reached out again. She said she'd changed, that she was ready to fight for us. But I didn't respond, because by then, I had found something better than reconciliation. I had found peace. The night of the wedding had been the darkest moment of my life, but it was also the beginning. In losing what I thought was everything, I found myself. I was hurt, yes, but I wasn't broken, and I was ready to begin